Other thing is a takeover code, that requirement stipulation of public offer will not apply, subject to certain stipulations. So we are sure that these are quite important decisions, and this will really facilitate further restructuring of stressed assets. So that's one decision which has been taken. Second decision which has been taken is to allow AIF2 category. AIF2 category has been allowed the same dispensation as AIF1 for the lock-in period in IPOs, and this is basically to make more AIF2 attracting AIF2 investment in various IPOs. This will facilitate that, and this was considered because AIF1 and 2 over a period of time they have been considered on similar footing. AIF1 and 2 they have been passed through status, and whatever dispensation is there for AIF1 has been allowed for AIF2. So this is the second decision. Third decision is that ODIs issued by FPIs, they have been further actually tightened, and there was also a discussion paper which was put in public domain last month. In line with that, what has been decided is that ODIs fees will be charged from FPIs issuing ODIs, that is one. And in ODIs they can only issue against, for derivatives they can only issue if they have underlying asset, interest, sorry. So this has been done to tighten the FPI regulations on ODI. But simultaneously what is being done is that for attracting FPI investments in India, a consultation paper actually is being put in public domain with some proposals, and which include proposals like for category 2 FPI, allowing the definition of broad-based being relaxed, and so that more category 2, more categories of FPI can come in category 2, thereby facilitating easier KYC norms, and certain other criteria of fit and proper requirements for category 1 and 2 are being relaxed, and FPIs coming from FATF compliant countries as against ISCO membership countries being done. So larger number of countries will be eligible for registering as FPI. So this is basically with the purpose of facilitating FPI investments in India. So I said that on one side ODI is something which is being tightened, but FPI is being relaxed. So this consultation paper will be in public domain, and so comments on that are being sought. Other thing, there is another important paper which actually is being put in public domain, that is development in equity derivatives market in India. And there is, as against the previous consultation paper where there is a proposal, in this there is no proposal, this is a consultation paper, and we want to have stakeholders' views on the equity derivatives market, how it is developed in our country, what should be the optimal way of investments, or product specific requirements, investment requirements, what it should be. So it is being put in public domain for comments, and we welcome comments on that. Another thing which was approved in the board was in fact informed, was that AIF3 investment in commodity derivatives market, which has been allowed. So that is the beginning of institutional investments in derivatives market. And lastly, if I recall, the item was annual report which was approved by the board, and for 2016-17 was sending to the government. So these were in some total major decisions taken in the board meeting.
Thank you, sir. And we'll start the questions. You can just raise your hands. Vijay.
Sir, good evening. Vijay from ET now. So, a couple of things. One, sir, on the whole issue of P notes, is we know last 1.5 years various steps have been taken to make it more unattractive as an instrument to be used to enter equity market. Is that SEBI just short of removing P notes or ODI as an instrument from the Indian equity market? And secondly, also, sir, on the whole issue of, although SEBI has made it public that there's a discussion under chairmanship of Uday Kotak for corporate governance, there's a committee that has been formed. Was there any discussion on the whole issue of independent directors and corporate governance issues, particularly related to certain Vijay Mallya control group? I'm asking this specifically because highest level decisions have been taken from the government as well as investigating agencies, but the fact is, on a listed company, Vijay Mallya still continues to sit. Thanks.
So on the first one, the idea is to tighten the P notes because just to make sure that Indians and NRIs actually don't use that route for investing in India through that route. So that is being tightened. The idea is not to stop it altogether because we do understand the use of P notes. The entities which want to test the waters and don't want to get registered in India, they should be allowed a framework to test. So idea is not at all to ban it, but to tighten it, and we understand that it should not be banned altogether. On the second issue, we have set up that committee on corporate governance. So that has already been set up. It has had first meeting and has been asked to give report in 4 months. So let's see how we proceed. So there was no discussion per se on that topic in the board meeting, but we are quite conscious of the fact that that's an important issue, and we need to. So that's how we have set up that committee. So let's see what are the recommendations and proceed accordingly.
Sir.
Hi, I'm Sani from Business Connect. You said along with RBI you will be giving some dispensation in the SEBI regulations in case of stressed companies. What are the safeguards planned for retail shareholders who are in these companies, and what are the further relaxations likely? What are the discussions happening with RBI, and what are the relaxations likely going ahead?
So it will be 3-year lock-in period for the investors, for the promoters, and sorry.
The new promoters.
Of course, it will be post new promoters. It will be the new promoters, and yeah, special resolution by the company allowing this, and a 3-year lock-in. So that hopefully will take care of minority shareholders in that company. Actually, see, the idea is that right now it has been allowed in SDR scheme of RBI, but only up to the bank level. When banks want to further give it to new investors, then unless you provide some relief, and that too in distressed assets, then it may not really take off. So that was the argument, and we thought that was a valid argument.
Yes.
So just with respect to the corporate governance point which Vijay raised, was there any discussion which was done in terms of appointment of independent directors? Because there was some mention which was made by the market regulator a couple of months ago that there would be a special resolution which should be brought in for the appointment of independent directors. Was there any discussion made? And sir, one more thing with respect to the NSCL case, the show cause notices were sent. Has there been any development on that front?
Yeah. So on the first one, if you see the TOR of that committee under Mr. Uday Kotak, that specifically is on the independent director's role. On your other issues, so the committee also, what we are envisaging and we are requesting them is to give a report which will have which can be implemented immediately, and a part of it which will go through if it requires legislative changes. So your other issue of special resolution, that will require amendment to the Companies Act. So that actually even before this committee has been set up, that issue has been taken up by SEBI with Government of India. That of course will take some time because that's a legislative issue. So this is already a TOR, an important TOR about the role of independent directors. On the NSE issue, yeah, we actually have issued show cause notice, and we have received their reply, NSE. That is under examination, and let's see how we'll proceed on that.
Questions?
So my name is Vidya Sridhar. So two things. You had said something, you put a consultation paper on the equity derivatives again. If you could just throw some more light on it, that I missed the point. Secondly, sir, recently SEBI had put the discussion paper on bringing in norms for index managers to bring in more transparency in the way the index management is done. Any updates on that in terms of have you received any responses? What is SEBI's take on that? Has anything been decided on that front?
So on the first one, you see, the issue is we just want to obtain views on equity derivatives market regulation in India, and we want to be how globally it is being done and to be as the best practices. So the issues like product suitability of equity derivatives, and who should this product is meant for whom. And in the paper, which I'm sure, when it is in domain, you will find interesting, there's a lot of analysis as to who is investing right now in equity derivatives in India, and what purpose does it get served, and also issues globally, how does it compare, derivatives market with the cash market. So I think it's a very important paper, but we are not suggesting anything, in fact. We want views on that, and we'll see, depending on the comments received, as to if in case there is a need for intervention, then we'll take a view. So you can give your views on that. On the other thing, we are yet to form a view on the regulation of index funds, to what extent SEBI should get into that. So views on that paper are also welcome.
Couple of months actually you keep tightening the instrument. So the impression that we get from lawyers and all is that in a way you're trying to kill the product actually. Even this initiative of only being issued for hedging purpose and not for speculation. So in one hand you don't want to kind of completely ban the product, but every couple of months there is this impression that is given to the overseas investors that enough is not done with regard to this product. That is one. And secondly, you mentioned that the FPI regulation is being relaxed. So you said that the definition of broad-based is being relaxed. What exactly you mean by that? And secondly, the fit and proper criteria. Right now, if you're complying with the financial task force, those countries, you are exempted into them. So when you say that fit and proper relaxation, what exactly you mean by that?
And the first thing, as I said, that the idea is not to ban ODIs, but the idea is that whosoever wants to have foreign investment wishes to come in India, the right way is that they get registered in India, and so that there is no opaqueness in terms of who end-use beneficiary is. So, as I said that, and then, but we recognize that there are some investors who would want to test as to what the regime is before getting registered. So we feel that as a long-term measure, whosoever is serious about investing in India should come by the normal FPI route. But the people who wish to test as to how the market is, for them that route is available. So we are not saying it should be totally shut off, but there is a general concern about the opaqueness in that. And so that is what the whole idea is, and that's how SEBI has been moving in the same direction in the past 1 year plus. So we just want to clarify on that. So your second question, sorry, I have forgotten it.
On the FPI regulation.
Yeah, FPI regulation, what broad-based thing is in category 2, broad-based definition is that no particular entity should have more than 49%. Exemption being given to only banks in that. If banks are there, then that is exempted. So that is being now agreed to be allowed, proposed to be allowed to insurance companies, pension funds and sovereign wealth funds. So in case they are participant in that entity, so they can be also beyond 49%, and then still it will be considered as broad-based. And on fit and proper for category 1 and 2, already information is available, large part of it even in public domain. So we found that there are a lot of repetition in the documents which are being sought from category 1 and 2. So fit and proper is being proposed to be relaxed for category 1 and 2. So that's what we are proposing in that paper. Yeah.
This is Shantanu from Bloomberg. I have two queries. Sir, you have allowed AIF Cat3 to invest in commodity derivatives, but still the pending thing is the mutual funds are still, that is a still pending issue. So what's the latest status on that? And also the pending NSE investigation, the investigation that you have initiated against the exchange. So will you be allowing the exchange to list pending the investigation?
First question on is that we are moving gradually on that, because commodity derivatives market is a new subject, and there are issues of regulation of the spot market as to who will be the regulators. Good thing is the government has now decided to constitute that committee which was announced in the budget, that to synergize spot market and derivatives market, so that should give some, that should reflect on that issue. So we are moving gradually on that. That's how AIF3 has been allowed. Mutual funds also is under consideration, but we'll go by experts' advice in that, and also
find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/ETNow.